on that hallway, and they came out, or they came in. I jumped up. Of course, I got killed.
There they are.
There they are, right there. Well,
Biohazard Bros Podcast.
Welcome back, fellow survivors. This is a special bonus episode of the Biohazard Bros Podcast. I promised this one a long time coming. I have with me today, not my usual co-host, but I have a special friend. This is my friend Carl. I call him Bubba.
hello.
This is the man responsible for my love of Resident Evil. He introduced me to this game nearly 30 years ago. You remember that?
I remember.
Oh, man. I remember coming down to South Carolina with Mike and my mom, and we stayed with you guys. And I remember you had a PlayStation, and I didn't have one at the time because they were relatively new. They'd only been out a few years. And I remember. Do you remember the games you had for it? Like you had like Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider definitely had Tomb Raider.
You had Tomb Raider. You had Tekken. I remember Tekken.
Yep.
And I wanted to play Tomb Raider because I loved it. I played a little bit of it in the in KB Toys. And I remember saying, "Hey, you mind if I play the PlayStation?" I played a little bit of Tomb Raider, but you're like, "Have you ever played Resident Evil?" No, I'd never heard of that. Didn't even know about this game. And you didn't show me the cover for this game or tell me shit about what it was about. So he says, "Oh, you got to play this." So he puts it in and loads it up, and I see that intro movie that we just got done playing a little bit of it, and we watched it. The intro movie with Charlie Kraslavsky, Eric Pirius, and Greg Smith, and all them. And I was like, "Wow, this is pretty intense." I had no idea what was coming. We get into the mansion, and I'm thinking, "Okay, what is this game, man? What do you got me playing?" And we get into that corridor, and I see that zombie munching away on Kenneth Sullivan from Stars, and he turns around, and I was hooked. And here we are, 30 years later. I haven't seen this guy since that day until like a month ago. And then now we're finally hanging out and we're talking Resident Evil.
And it's awesome. It's awesome to reflect back that far.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's 30 years, man. Like, this game has been a big part of my life. I love it. You're responsible for turning me onto this game. I could have gone a lot of different routes. I could have gone this route or that route, down even bad routes, but I chose to stay a gamer, and this kind of fostered my love for that. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get into Resident Evil?
I got into Resident Evil. My wife worked at the Kmart. And I'm not going to get into specifics, but
Okay.
ended up obtaining some games.
Okay.
And she came home with that one. And her son was living with us at the time. And we stuck it in, and we had some pizza, and it was scary, so we had the lights down, and it was just something brand new to the whole gaming thing, because we were used to Pong, the old tennis or whatever it was, and just, I don't know, games that went from left to right, up and down, and that was it. And these, you were able to go somewhere in this, and it just made it so interesting to me.
Yeah, it was like a movie you could play.
Yes, I was hooked immediately, me and her son.
Oh, my goodness.
You can only play one person, so we'd play about every 15 or 20 minutes, and we'd hand the controller over to the other person.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it was,
that kind of was before the days of online gaming and stuff, too.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, man, so many years ago. Now, you were, in your 30s when I met you, right?
Yes, I was my early 30s, probably like 33.
Yeah. I was 16 and then turning 17 that year. And it just resonated with me. And it really tickled me pink to come over to my mom's house and see you sitting there. And I'm like, I got to tell you about this. This is how you didn't know this. You didn't know this.
No, I did not. And I was actually surprised. And you were like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" And you were like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much." And I'm like, "Well, what is he thanking me for? For living with us, whatever, to help you somehow or something." He's like, "For turning me on to Resident Evil."
Yeah, Yeah. Oh man.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I. That's how I felt. Like every time, I've thought of you over the years when I would play it from time to time. Like, well, I wonder whatever happened to Bubba. You know, the guy that turned me on to this shit. And then here, 30 years later, I'm surprised because you're not from here. You're from somewhere else, and now you're living here where I'm at. And just to see you there was like a real, I don't know. It was a real like pinch me moment. Like, holy shit! Like I can tell this guy like how much you changed my life. Well, my gaming life with this game. Because up to that point, I was, I always played like, like the old side scrollers and shit like you were talking about. Maybe not so much Pong, but like Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. But you turned me on to this game, and I just never looked back. Now I consume every horror game I can possibly get. I have an extensive library, and there's even new games that have come out in recent years that are remakes that are even scarier. And then Konami also did their own series, which is called Silent Hill. Maybe you've heard of it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
I
pretty
played the
scary.
first one. Yes.
Yes. So you played that back on PlayStation.
Yes, I got stuck and I couldn't figure out what to do, and you couldn't, look up what to do.
Yeah, because we didn't have internet. Yeah, it was a tough one because like the puzzles could be pretty.
You'd have to buy, a guidebook or something to guide you through it if you couldn't go any further.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I remember you putting in the game. You kind of let me run around a little bit trying to figure out how to get the tank controls down, and just kind of explore a little bit. But then you were like, after a while, I think maybe I don't remember if I got killed right away by that. I might have, or got bit real bad. And you're like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break out the guidebook. And then what you did was you kind of guided me. And when I got to a point where I was stuck, and you're like, go in this door, or you go over here and get this key, or you go over here and this is how you solve this puzzle. And we made it through that game in a few days, actually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guided me through it, and I got to the end, and I was just blown away. The tyrant fight, the diary, the keeper's diary, the lore, the files. That was what resonated with me so much. It wasn't just that though; it was inventory management, and it was like.
Absolutely.
Like the camera setup, the suspense of not knowing what was down the next corridor. This game was just intense. Now, I really, I really don't think that there's been a game like this game since its inception. It created the survival horror genre.
No, it sure did.
It created the survival horror genre, and a lot of that goes to thanks to George Romero. So I know a little bit more about the lore now, probably more so than you because you've only played.
Oh yeah, you definitely know more.
So I've started this podcast because of my love for this, and I guess it's because of you. And it has led me down avenues and made friendships that I never thought possible, even if they are online. Now, one of the episodes that you may have seen, I had Greg Smith, who played Barry Burton, on in
yes,
the
I
first
saw that,
game.
yes.
Well, we exchanged messages, and then he was like, well, hey, I'm going to send you some stuff. I ended up owing Barry Burton money for that.
I was like, I heard.
But yeah, I was saying I had to owe Barry, but I took care of him because I want him to get the money he needs to go to cons and stuff.
He was so cool.
Yeah, he's chill.
It was awesome to watch that.
So this is what he sent me.
Oh, that's cool.
There's the envelope from his house. He sent that. He's from.
He's
Australia.
like, yeah, Australia. Okay.
He's like, I hope that's not Biohazard Bro's blood. I hope that's not Kenjira's blood because I go by Kenjira.
Oh, you got a signed Stars card.
Yeah, it's signed Barry Burton dog tag.
Oh, you got a patch. Oh, that's
patch.
awesome.
And the Barry Burton card here, all signed from him. And I talk to this guy every now and again online still, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably have him back on again one day. Here, let's show the viewers. This is my prized possession. This is from Barry Burton. Hey, that's what I wanted to show you. That's what I've been hiding. Pretty cool.
That is awesome.
This is what Resident Evil has gotten for me in my life. And it's exciting to be able to talk about it and show these things off.
I'm so excited for you. I never thought that I would be responsible for something like this. I mean,
oh, absolutely, you are.
It feels good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I could have went down any route, gotten into like to bad things like some people.
Yeah,
not really, because I've never been that kind of a kid,
Well, it was so easy to fall in that,
Yeah, into traps and.
Yes, and luckily, your time was occupied.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't know. I love these games. Now my kid's starting to get into games, and maybe one of these days, when he's old enough, of course, he'll discover Resident Evil and appreciate it as much as I have.
He should. He probably will. I mean,
yeah,
hopefully follow in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you haven't played the remakes or nothing like that?
No, I played. I think it's 4 RE4.
The original 4?
I guess I don't know which one it is because
more than likely.
You know, I didn't even look at Resident Evil until we reacquainted ourselves, and you were like, Resident Evil, you're telling me about it, and I came back and loaded up the game.
No shit.
But the controls are so much different that I was having such a hard time that I stopped. And then I knew you were coming over today, so I loaded it back up last night and was actually able to get into the groove a little bit.
Yeah.
And it made it more interesting. Made me want to check out the other ones too.
And then I have some footage. We're going to go ahead and roll that now.
This was so groundbreaking back in the day.
Was. And there's Charlie Kozlowski. I talk to him every now and again. I talked to him actually just the other night, mostly because I was trying to get a T-shirt from his website, and my card wouldn't go through because PayPal was acting up, but he was trying to see if he could help me with that. We did Chris the last time we played. We never did you.
I've always played Chris. I think I played her once.
She's so much, like, not easier or better, but she gets, like, more inventory space in the lockpick, which essentially is like the shield key or the sword key or something like that. So after I've discovered how cool she is, I've usually always used her.
Is it one extra slot?
What's that? Yeah, she gets 2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't get the shield right there?
Yeah, you do, but I don't pick it up right away.
Okay.
I just leave it there because I'll get it whenever when I do come back, because you got to go up to that piano room. Yeah. I've kind of learned over the years, like the structure of how to play. I'm not so good at the beginning, but once I start getting into like the guardhouse, and then the aquifer underground where the sharks are, and then the labs. Ultimately, I'm really quick there. You know, at the beginning part of the house, I get a little confused still because I haven't played it as much as you think I would have over the years. I played the remake far more because, believe me, it's better. I know the Spencer Mansion for the remake far better because it's a little different. It's the same, but there's small differences. Like in the room where you meet where the zombie for the first time in the west side corridor, you know how it's just a wall there? In the remake, you can go through. There's a door that takes you to another section that brings you to the upstairs where the zombies are like where the stairs kind of like go down the middle, and there's a zombie, like lurking around. I'll show you. We're gonna go just that way. So this is the area I'm talking about. Like, so right here in this hallway is in the remake. But to get to this hallway, rather than going through the door and it's there's 2 doors. There's one that takes you to another section, but then the door next to it brings you here. But before it brings you here, it brings you to that hallway, and that hallway, it's kind of like shaped like a C. And then it brings you out to this. It's just a little bit different, and it has all these zombies in it. And then here's the crazy part. If you kill a zombie in that, after a while, if you don't burn their bodies, they get up, and they're even harder and fast, and they chase you down and run after you. Yeah, and they kick doors down and shit and come after you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude, the remake's fucking scary, man. Oh, I keep on. But yeah, that's good.
I remember this spot right here with all that. When I ran around that corner and met this zombie for the first time, I was like, whoa, shit. Wow, this is bringing back some memories.
All right, so this is the room I was talking about. My friend Addie, that I was telling you about, the people she's with. Well, the guy that directed his name's Andrew Sala, but he's affiliated with the Residents of Evil, which is the YouTube channel. So that they did a movie based on this diary right here that you pick up. Let me get this real quick. More bullets. That's a lot of bullets. Let's refill our gun because that zombie's gonna pop out. So this diary right here, and once we go up to it, the zombie's gonna break through the door.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
After once you read it.
Cutscene. Yep. Wow.
All right, so
that was one you had to kill.
Yeah, because you got to read this. Yeah. Well, you don't gotta, but first time players should,
Yeah.
So this is the Keeper's Diary, and all right. So at night we played poker with Scott the guard, Elias, and Steve the researcher. You remember this now? And then at the end of it, he's like, where we at? He starts to get, turn into a zombie, and then he's like, fever gone, but itchy, hungry, and eat doggy food. Itchy, caught king, ugly face, killed him, tasty. Itchy, tasty.
Itchy tasty.
That's you remember it now? That's the most iconic thing from this game, arguably.
Itchy tasty. Down that hallway, and they came out, or they came in. I jumped up. Of course, I got killed.
There they are.
There they are, right there. Well, I didn't know what
I remember
to
this
do.
scared the shit out of me too. And you didn't. Oh man, you got. Damn, Jill, what are you doing? Oh no.
That was the most awesome thing I saw.
You didn't tell me this was coming
time.
either, and I'm like, what the shit?
No, let me try it. Shit.
All right, here we go.
Right,
Hell yes.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
How do you shoot?
X.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, there should be 2 or 3 in this room.
This hall is dangerous. Maybe it's better to secure our escape.
You know why the acting was so bad for this?
Because it was 30-something years ago.
Well, it was simplified for Japanese audiences.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted to keep the dialogue real simple and mundane. And it kind of falls in line with B horror movies, but that's why they did it.
You don't remember how to play the games, do you?
Yes.
He did all right. Anyway, that was us playing a little bit for old time's sake of Resident Evil. 30 years in the making, man. What did it feel like playing at it? After 30 years of us running through it back then. Very nostalgic.
Just, every room I walked in was just another memory. Everything you just turn around, there's a memory.
Yeah. So these remake games, far scarier. Okay, so they remade Resident Evil 1 in 2002 for the GameCube, and Shinji Mikami, the director of the original, was back for that one, and he got to do some of the things he didn't get to do with the original because of the hardware limitations. Like they added a graveyard, and there's a whole new element with Lisa Trevor, who's like this hybrid zombie type character with tentacles and stuff that chases you around kind of as a stalker at certain areas. The zombies, like I said, they're more aggressive. They kick doors in, come after you. Excuse me. Once you kill them, they get up off the floor and they chase you down, and they're real fast, and they're and they got claws, and they're called Crimson Heads. And I'll have to play that with you sometime. You're going to be like, holy shit. Now I can storm through that game real quick because I've played it far more than the original one. I remember one of the last things that I did before I left to come back home was so you had the director's cut.
Yeah.
And with the director's cut back then was a demo disc for Resident Evil 2. And I played Resident Evil 2, the demo, before I left. And I was even more intrigued, okay, so this game's coming. And I remember it was not long after I got back home. I got a job, started working, and I think it was 6 months or so later, that game finally dropped. I can't really remember the timeline, but it was in January. I know that much for sure. I sent my best friend at the time to go get a PlayStation with my paycheck and pick up Resident Evil 2 while I was at work. This was when KB Toys still existed. And he brought it back, and I sat all weekend and played that fucking game and got through it, man. And it was with no strategy guide, no internet, no nothing. And I got through it, and it took me 15 hours, but I got through that shit all by myself, man. And then he wanted to play it, and he had a Nintendo 64. So he's like, well, I'll let you use the 64, and I'll borrow the PlayStation. I never got it back, so I never got to play Claire B. Because there was 2 campaigns with Resident Evil 2. There was Leon and Claire, and it was so it was a little bit more different than the original, where you had branching paths in the original or the remake because of the different discs, whereas different choices you make in the original would just maybe have a different ending. Right. So this was a set path for each campaign. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing with my life from that moment.
Oh, it's so interesting. It really is. I was, amazed at how far this has all gone.
It's got a big community.
I'm actually really surprised.
So we're watching The Keeper's Diary for the first time.
The Keeper's Diary, a Biohazard Story.
Arclay Forest.
What did you think about that Keeper's Diary that I showed
The
you?
Keeper's Diary was
Kick
it's
ass.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they make the other one.
Yeah, I hope
About an hour long, right? That would be great.
yeah, it's going to be a 4-part episode, episodic, like a web series. So on YouTube at the Residents of Evil, if the campaign's successful and they can get the shit realized from off of paper, yeah. So hopefully we can get there. I backed them. I'm a backer. So
Help them out, people. That's a very good short film. You should check it out.
Oh yeah, the the Keeper's Diary, a Biohazard Story at Residents of Evil on YouTube. Absolutely, he loved it, man. The IndieGoGo campaign, like I said, is it's live. I'll send you the link. You can check it out as low as $10. But they want to do a web series, and this brings back all the original cast members, with the exception of Inez, who played Jill, to reprise their roles, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, this whole community is really receptive, to one another, and one of the other guys that I met, his name's Brandon Salisbury. He does a documentary. You'll have to check it out if you ever got the spare time to maybe rent it on Google or YouTube. It's called George A. Romero's.
Oh, I got the spare time.
Yeah, you should watch that documentary. I'll send you a link to it. It's really, really good. So, yeah, 30 years, man. Hang on. You're looking good. Looking good,
Well,
by the way.
thanks, sir. You look great yourself.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man.
We're sitting here with my dog.
I kind of got a little bit of a scruffy face going on. Maybe need to shave. But, yeah,
I shaved yesterday for the podcast. I look at it.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, so you said you played Resident Evil 4. Was that the one? Do you remember? Was it the one with the village? You got the
I think it is.
the castle.
I think so. It's been a year. It's been at least a year. And at my age, memories ain't all that great anymore. Especially if I didn't play it that long. I know I ran into a problem. I couldn't go anywhere or something, and I probably got bored with it really quick because there's so many games out there now.
Yeah.
But this has definitely stoked me up to
Awesome.
check out some other stuff.
So what else do you like to play? You like God of War, obviously. Look at Kratos right here on the wall. How sick is that? I love that shit. That God of War. Did you play that 2018 God of War game?
I've played them, just about all of them. I'm mainly playing Modern Armor, the tank game.
Yeah, I see you play that all the time. So you've been on PlayStation the whole time? Did you own?
That's all I've ever owned was a PlayStation, yeah.
Did you have PS2 and 3?
I've had them all. I've tried to play Xbox, but they're...
Thumbsticks are off-center?
Well, no. The X and the O are in different spots.
Yeah, I got you. That screws everybody up,
Dude, and my buddy had the Xbox, and I'd go over to his house, and we'd play the Madden football. And
he would say hit X, and you'd get confused.
He would just kick my ass. Dude, I got so frustrated. When he kicked the ball to me, my first play, I would punt every time. And he'd run it back. I could not switch to the other player, receiver or whatever. I wasn't coordinated enough to do that.
Yeah, Madden's kind of takes a special ability to be.
And I get so anxious that I start freaking out, and then if the buttons are different, he's like, hit X, and I am, but it's not where it is on PlayStation.
So you like to play like World of Tanks and like open
world games a lot. I played a lot of Daisy.
You like that one? I haven't played that one yet, so it's more like a survival game.
It's a survival. It is. It's a very interesting game.
You got to build your own shit and.
Yeah, and then somebody just comes and takes it,
Oh man, that sounds like what does that sound like? It's like there's Afterlife, I mentioned that earlier, and then there's another one. I think it's called 7 Days to Die.
Yes, I played that.
You played that one?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
I haven't played that either. I mostly stick with like survival horror shit.
So, that's what I'm into these days. Because that's what Daisy is.
Yeah.
But I'm a veteran. Happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Oh yeah,
weekend.
Thanks for your service.
Okay.
I didn't know that until you just.
So I'm always drawn into the military games and stuff. I have
like Call of Duty.
Yes, yeah, all of them. Anything. What's that? George? Is it George Clancy?
Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy. Yeah, I played those. Yeah, Rainbow Six.
Nice.
Just whatever. Just always been a gamer.
That's wild. You know what I mean? Like most people like your age, they kind of just give up on gaming when they get up there. You know what I mean? Like, but some of us, we just stick with it. You can't change it. You can't take the game out of the gamer.
No, and you got to be careful with these scary games when you get old too. because you have a heart condition. It'll scare crap out of you.
You so like you mentioned in the comments on the first episode we did, the one thing that kind of stuck out with you when playing Resident Evil was the dogs.
Oh,
in the
them
corridor.
dogs! Oh, that scared the crap out of me.
See, you didn't even tell me about this. No warning. Whenever he's like, "All right, so you go in this door." So we were playing as Chris, so I would have had to gotten the key to get in there somehow. We get into that area. It's where the dogs jump through the window. Didn't tell me about it. This fucking guy.
Yeah, one jumps out behind you and you start running, and
I
then
was
one jumps
frantic.
out in front of you and you don't know what to do.
And he's laughing his ass off. I remember it, and I'm frantic. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'm getting mauled by these dogs, and he's just losing it. Like, "Oh yeah, I knew it was coming, buddy. How you like that?" I'll never forget that day, man. Those days, what good days. And it took me to this point. Here we are. I've made good friends with a lot of people in the community. We love this game. I can't praise it enough. Hell, you didn't even see my shirt because I haven't taken my coat off.
Resident Evil.
That's the zombie head turn. Yeah, the zombie head
I
turn.
don't know if anybody's seen mine.
Oh yeah, he choked out Linda Lovelace. Hey, no kids in this podcast,
Yes,
right? Anyway,
adult stuff.
adult talk here. Anyway, yeah, I just really appreciate you turning me on to that game, and I just wanted to hang out with you for a little bit and just reminisce about that, and it was really good to play with you and just look back on that time because I think back on it from time to time, even when I'm playing, and it just makes me feel so like good inside because of nostalgia and like what good days. It seems like when you get older, like life kind of like starts to take away or starts to change, or maybe it's not as exciting or it's lost its luster for some people, especially for the working.
Yeah, it can happen. I mean, I'm sure it does.
Especially if you're not rich, but
Yeah.
but we always have these games. Resident Evil actually has been kind of my go-to through like the hard times in life. Like I was talking about this with Baggy in one of the episodes. Like Resident Evil has got. I remember like going through a breakup, and it was really shitty. Like feeling. You know what I'm saying? And instead of like being depressed and moping around about a woman, I said, well, looks like I'm just going to play Resident Evil because it made me feel like no matter what was stacked against me in these games or in life, that I could problem solve through this game, and like it would transport me back to those days or, into another. I don't want to say I've said it like escapism, but it's more like it's nurturing to like growth of the mind. So it's a good escape when you're going through like, an issue like a breakup. And
Yes, it occupies your time.
Yeah.
Other than that, because that's very draining, very stressful.
Yeah.
And
Other than doing drugs,
I think it's very
drinking a lot,
therapeutic.
Yeah, very
sometimes.
therapeutic.
I don't think my wife would agree with that, but it can be. Yes, it can be exhilarating, therapeutic. I don't know. These games have just come so far. It's just crazy, because I was there for the first games.
Yeah.
And they, you look back at them now, they were really cheesy, but that's what we had,
Yeah.
Either that or carry your ass outside.
Right.
Which a lot of y'all should be doing.
Yeah. Man. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit and talking Resident Evil. Let's see where we were at 22 minutes.
Stoked ever since you asked me. I don't know how long ago it was.
It's about a week or so. 3 weeks to about 3 weeks ago. I just been busy with like other shows trying to get them lined up. It's really it's a process to get people on. A lot of the people in the community are like really busy doing their content and things. Some of the first people I asked to come on were Brandon Salisbury, Charlie Kraslavsky, who plays Chris Redfield, and they said, "Yeah, it sounds like fun." So I'm still waiting on them to free up some time.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll get them on. Greg, actually, the guy that played Barry, contacted me. I don't know how he found me. Maybe I liked a comment or a post or something of his, or like on Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever want to talk to the original Barry Burton, let me know." And I'm like,
"And how cool is that?"
Fuck, yeah, it was really cool. And then I thought it was.
Is this a joke?
That's what I thought. I'm thinking, is this a joke? No, it was really him. And then like whenever we set up the room, the studio, there he was on the screen, and I'm like, wow, it's for real. And he had been texting me all night before, and he's like you. He's a dog guy. He was sending me pictures of his dog, his house is on stilts, and I didn't go to docks where he lives, but it's in Australia on a beach.
Yeah, I actually saw the pictures. I think
Yeah.
what some of them posted somewhere. I think I saw. Or was it? Did y'all do it on the show?
No, it was on the show. He was showing off his
Yeah, I saw
his house.
something. Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
showing- he's got-
badass too. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's really laid out. And anyway, he was right there on my screen, and it was like pinch me, like I'm talking to Barry Burton. I played this game when I was a fucking kid. You know, holy shit, it was crazy. And then now I'm making friends with people like my buddy Dwayne, who did the music for the Biohazard story short film I just showed you. We talk daily. You know, he does the music for also for the documentary, among other projects. You know, he's very passionate about Resident Evil. Brandon, another, he's an acquaintance, but like a friend online. Very knowledgeable on Resident Evil and horror movies, and it's like he's like an encyclopedia on that shit. Always turning me on to like horror movies, good ones, you know, new ones, obscure ones I've never heard of, like Dagon, which is pretty fucking good because it's like Resident Evil 4, like if it were a movie, sort of. Thanks for that, Brandon. By the way, I don't know if you ever really will see this, but if you do, thank you for all the movie recommendations. Yeah, it's just been like,
I
wow.
got a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Let's say, just a hypothetical question that I never introduced you to this game. Let's say you never played this game. Where do you think you might have
Gone with video gaming?
No, gone in your life,
With life.
direction? And I think I might know the answer, but I'm gonna let you answer.
I think
I know that's very hypothetical, but
yeah, it's very hypothetical. Really, it's hard to say.
you think you would have done still podcasts on another game? Because you wouldn't know. You would have still been introduced to games.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I had already been gaming at that point, but like I said, so before I answer that, the PlayStation was new hardware for me. When you introduced me to that game and PlayStation basically in general, I had only played PlayStation maybe 3 or 4 times as a demo at KB Toys, and I didn't own a machine. So that hardware really intrigued me, and I had to have one after I left. So I ended up getting one. Now, where would I have gone as far as in life? Well, probably I may have gone the route of, and I actually originally started my
you have
YouTube
another
channel.
interest
Yeah,
other than
comic books. I was
Did
real,
you
and I,
like draw or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm an artist. I do digital art and freehand art. And
Oh, okay.
Probably what I would have done and what I wish I would have done, honestly, is be a tattoo artist.
Yeah, they make good money.
I wish I would have done that. I maybe it's not too late, but
It's never too late. You're in your 40s. I tell you now, it's not too late. I mean, if you draw good and all that, if you can get it down pretty quick, it'd be something you could do.
But that's to answer your question, and like, without a long-winded answer, I think I probably would have gone the route of maybe like being a comic book sort of like
come with illustration, whatever,
or probably tattooing, which I really wish I would have done that, but I didn't pursue nothing like that because I was too preoccupied.
Well, that's something.
Resident Evil.
That's something else that's come a long way. Are the tattoos?
Yeah. Have you seen the ones that glow under lights and shit?
No, I haven't seen those yet. But jeez.
Yeah, they have tattoos that.
I don't know if I want that on my skin.
Yeah, I don't know about
tattoos, but I don't know, man. I'm just.
Yeah. You're also in the Vikings, I see, and stuff. I'm into Viking stuff.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I showed you my
Viking power all the way.
Yeah, I got my wolf on my arm, and I think maybe another interest that I might have tried to pursue, and I actually did for a short time, was trying to play music. And I have and this is not Resident Evil related, but I have a cousin who his father always encouraged him to play music, and he would buy their instruments. And now he plays for a fucking rock band that is like a platinum rock band called Falling in Reverse.
Yeah, I know. I know who that is. I know a couple of people. Either they've been in a band or they're siblings or something like that. Yeah.
My cousin is the bass player. His name's Tyler, and I just think that's really cool. He's fucking probably a millionaire now. Like because these guys sell out arenas. They're actually going to be touring with, I think, Slipknot soon or something like that.
The guitarist for Shinedown is from Charleston.
Really?
I'm pretty sure in that area.
I remember Hootie and the Blowfish being from there. I almost went to Middleton where Darius Rucker went to school. Yeah.
I did the guitarist's cable TV installation. Me and a buddy of mine, Robert Carlton. What's up, buddy? Yeah, man, he was pretty cool.
I remember that. You were a cable guy back then.
Oh man, I was everything, dude. I've had like 30 jobs, having attention deficit disorder and was never really treated for it. So I've had so many jobs, master of none.
Yeah. I remember also getting into surfing pretty heavy down there, trying to, but I sucked at it, because I'd never done it before. But I couldn't really bring that home with me because we have no beaches here in Ohio. But I want to show you this. So speaking of tattoos and surfing and stuff,
I lost my board when I joined the Army. My cousin ended up with it.
I got that tattoo because of being in South Carolina and
trying to
surf.
Really?
That was my first tattoo, and it's a surfing tattoo with the little yin yang and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought I never got a Resident Evil tattoo. I want to get one, but I don't know.
Surprised you don't.
I don't know what to get, and I want to get one. I think I want to do the zombie.
Maybe just a RE or something.
Well, I was thinking about doing the zombie head turn somewhere. Maybe like I don't want it like all over like a big area. Maybe I'm gonna put it on my leg because I got no tattoos on my legs. And I think if I get one, that'll be the next one. That'll be the next one. But yeah, I mostly just keep it with I like tribal tattoos and Viking stuff. So that's mostly all my tattoos are that. And,
I wish I could redone all mine to something else. Just got tattoos over the years.
Let me take this off. So that's kind of where my life has gone because of that. So I guess in a way it's very therapeutic and it's kept me from doing harder, more worse habits. Not that I needed a deterrent. It's never kind of been my thing, but I could have gone down that route like so many people with nothing to do here in Ohio. But video games kind of were something to occupy my mind. But unfortunately, with the side note, it's occupied too much of my time to where I haven't really done a whole lot in life. Just working a 9 to 5. But still, hell, I'm proud of being a part of this community, and
you should be, man. You should be. And you're not just playing, and being enclosed and keep it to yourself all the time. You're associating with people, and that's the healthy part of it. If you were just closing off and playing, 10 hours and going.
I do that sometimes, but
I mean, that's part of gaming. To get into it, but to constantly do that and constantly, not associate with anybody that's when it gets bad.
The most recent game that got me really hardcore, focused on it to beat that shit, closed off from the world, literally. Just recently was released on PlayStation 5. I played it on Xbox though because it was released last year. Was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? If you haven't played that,
I've seen the title and I've always wondered. I wonder if that's any good.
It's really good. I almost want to let you borrow my copy of it. I haven't, but I paid $100 for it and I didn't open it. So because it came in a case, like a special case and shit. If I do open it, I'll have to let you borrow it because it's a really.
I might be able to stream it. I don't know if it's streaming on PlayStation. Is it?
Yeah. You mean download it from the store? Or whatever,
well, I have the PlayStation
the Plus, yes.
Yeah.
It might come on there. Yeah, I don't think it's on there quite yet. It probably might come because it's still on Game Pass. So I doubt it. It might.
Yeah, I don't really know. I've seen the title though. I've seen the title.
Well, Xbox's Game Pass is that's what it's called. So it's streaming on there. So PlayStation probably won't be allowed to have it stream on there, but they do have the game available for purchase. But yeah, that's a really good one, man. Indiana Jones is one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. Probably my most favorite movie franchise of all time, outside of shit like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and shit like that. Man, have you ever seen The Walking Dead, the show?
No. We've kind of been getting into Art the Clown lately.
Oh, Terrifier! Oh my god, how fucking crazy is that shit?
Dude, I watched some wicked shit, man. I ain't lying, like Centipede, which is really nasty.
That first one with I didn't laugh at it because I know it's fake. He killed her, the black-haired girl in the first one.
Oh my gosh, he just brutally kills.
Yeah. All right. So, have you ever seen a movie called High Tension?
No.
Oh my god, you gotta watch this. It fucked with my head when I saw it, man. It was so fucked up.
A Bone Tomahawk. You ever heard of that?
What is it?
It's like a cowboy alien movie with
no, I never.
Russell is the first 10 or 15 minutes is really boring to get through, but then when the action starts, dude, Bone Tomahawk is awesome. He gets cut open, gets a flask stuck in his side, and there's all kind of crazy shit going on.
Oh man, I love movies. Movies have been another thing that's kind of been.
Yeah, me and the wife are into horror movies big time. She loves Art the Clown. She'd probably marry him if it was.
So
I don't think she'd kiss him.
Bloody lips and all. Have you? Do you have Tubi on your TV or anything?
Oh, I could get it on there.
All right, so if you get to put put Tubi on there. You like horror movies like zombie shit, obviously.
Yeah.
Because you like Resident Evil. Go to Tubi when you get a chance and watch The Night Eats the World.
Night Eats the World.
One of the best fucking zombie movies I ever seen in my life. It's literally could be Resident Evil. It could be, and see, that's the thing that pisses me off about the movies. Resident Evil movies have been so shit. They're so fucking, like, the first two are okay. After that, they're just nonsense bullshit with cosplayers playing these characters that just make appearances from the game, and it's not even centered around them. It's centered around this whole nother, like, set of characters. Like, her name's Alice and Rain and all these characters that were just kind of made up for this. That could have been any zombie movie, and just the community, most people in the gaming community that are hardcore Resident Evil just despise it. And that's why Brandon Salisbury did the documentary for George Romero's Resident Evil, because he was supposed to direct it, and they ended up shit canning him because I guess the rumor is that they didn't like his script. So it's like, what? The Godfather of Zombies, and you don't like his script? The fucking game that you based your shit off of, you rejected it? What? Yeah, all right, whatever. But anyway, yeah, horror movies are my favorite too. What's your most favorite one?
Ooh, wow, I wasn't expecting that question. What would be mine? Well, it's got to be one of the Terrifiers. I'm not really sure which one it would be, but pretty scary.
Terrifier 3 is pretty good. You seen the third one?
Yeah, I've seen them all. We actually,
fucking great.
I don't know. We better move on to something else.
All right. Well, so I can definitively say what my favorite horror movie is. It is the Night of the Living Dead remake by fucking Tom Savini from 1991. It's one of the greatest of all time.
And I have to be honest here, I've never really seen one of the Night of the Living Dead.
Oh my God, you haven't?
No.
Dude, I started watching Night of the Living Dead.
Is that the one where it says, Margaret, we're coming to get you or whatever?
Barbara, we're coming to get you, Barbara. Yeah. I watched that movie when I was 6. So it turned me on to like horror, and
I'm
it's
gonna have to check them out, man. They've been around so long, I'm surprised I've never watched it.
So, not Resident Evil. So, Night of the Living Dead, the original one by George Romero from 1960, whatever. I think it was like 69, maybe 68 ish. Brandon would definitely know this because he's an aficionado. Anyway, that movie's in the public domain. You can watch it for free anywhere, and it can't be really like monetized because of a fluke with the copyright back in them days. So yeah, you can watch that anywhere, and it's corny and cheesy, and by today's standards, not the greatest with graphically, but
but back then it was scary.
It was fucking terrible.
I remember, like hearing maybe like my aunt or my mom back there, like, no, you can't go see that, or whatever. That's the devil stuff, whatever.
Yeah, I really like that movie. I'll tell you another good horror genre for me that always, the movie, the first one, has always intrigued me because it has no gore, but it's effective. The original Halloween by John Carpenter. I've always loved John Carpenter's shit.
We watch them every Christmas, all the just about, well, not all the Halloweens. I can't remember which one. Wife doesn't really care for. Halloween when it comes, man, we watch them all. Krampus.
Krampus was really good. I liked Krampus. I like that one.
What's his name? Bill Goldberg played. I think he played one of the Krampuses, or he plays a bad Santa Claus.
Yeah,
and it's pretty gory. Glad I'm having a brain fart with the name of it. I'd have to search it if I have my phone.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. It's kind of, it's a horror movie. They can be cheesy, with some of the things they do, but it's really good. My wife loves it. I'm surprised she does.
Yeah, well, it's definitely it's led to the development of Resident Evil, and I guess they kind of go hand in hand. So without horror movies like The Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, we don't get to Resident Evil. So I mean, it owes a lot of allegiance to them films and to George Romero. So there we go. I don't know what more we could ramble on about, but it's been good talking to you. We've been going on for about 38 minutes, so that should be good enough for some content to add. I really appreciate you letting me come over, hang out, for old times.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see that you're still on PlayStation. That's fucking crazy, after all these years, still fucking loyal to that system, I love it. I just recently got back on it because of Silent. Have you played Silent Hill 2 yet? The remake?
No, I was watching some clips on it. I can't wait to play
I
that.
wish I would have thought of it. I would have brought the damn disc and I would have let you borrow it. 'Cause I'm not playing. Yeah, I got the game.
The second one?
Silent Hill 2, the remake.
Yeah.
I got it with the day I got my PlayStation 5.
Oh,
Well, my girlfriend bought it for me. And I'm not playing it because I platinumed it. So you can play it. I'll let you borrow it.
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah.
come back by sometime here in the coming days or whatever, a week or two or whatever, and bring it by for you whenever maybe
Yeah, that'd be cool.
over there at
Yeah,
Mom's house.
yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow it and then play through it, and when, whenever you get through it, just let me know you're done. And I'll come back and get it and hang out.
Yeah, that was a scary one.
Yeah,
Chris's
the remake's
The
really fucking
Lifetime
good.
we played that one. And, yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, fuck, we'll play it together. I'll just bring it and we'll play it.
Come on, man. I don't
Hell yeah. Well, that's what we'll do. We'll play it together and I'll leave it for you so you can finish it out. Because
Hell
we ain't
yeah.
going to be able to do it in one run because it's a big game. And then whenever you get through it, I'll come and pick it back up.
Oh yeah.
No rush. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for coming on, man. It was really heartwarming. I can't.
It was awesome, man. This is awesome.
One of my oldest buds, that you're the man. You're the man that made all this possible for me. So can't thank you enough.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Carl, you want to say anything to him?
Be safe. Be kind.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for joining us on this special episode of the Biohazard Bros podcast.
Biohazard Bros Podcast.